Well, I'm out waiting for the bus. About to go on a game hunt adventure for BigCTV plays. And I figured this is as good a place as any to reflect on the year that was 2025. I'm actually filming this a bit earlier than I normally do. I usually film my reflection video on New Year's Eve, but I have to work on the day and the evening. There's an important football game that I don't want to miss. So I figure I've got the time, might as well do it now. It's not like it's going to change anything in the next few days. But let's talk about 2025, my life, and plans for the future. Hello everybody. So today is December 26th. It is the day after Christmas 2025, and I figured, since I'm already out and about and I have some time, I might as well talk about last year, or this past year, and how things were, what happened, and what my plans are. So first off, I feel like the last several years, something big has happened that has caused some sort of earth-shattering change. Whether it's new job or jobs in 2023's case. Whether it's a health scare, whether it's COVID, who knows what it could have been. 2025 felt like it just kind of happened. Nothing necessarily bad happened, but nothing really good happened either. I mean, there were definitely some good moments this year that I'm very happy happened, but I wouldn't say past year has been the most memorable. It's just kind of a year that happened, which is not a great thing in my book, because even the ones with the bad stuff, at least those years were memorable. Like 2023, one of the worst years of my life, but I will always remember it because I had to go through 3 jobs and all 3 of them were not great in their own ways. Or, in 2022 when I finally left Disney and had to, a lot of uncertainty in my life. 2020 was the COVID year. I mean, there are a number of years where big things happened, and I will remember those years forever because of that. 2025, I don't really have anything like that. I'd say overall this was a good year. I'd rather it be a mid-year than a bad year. So it was a good year. I've been at my same job for over a year now. I'm about to hit year 2 actually in March, which is exciting. I got to go on my first work trip. That's cool. I finally, after 2 years away, returned to Halloween Horror Nights. We did Brosmas, got to spend some time with the family. I mean, it hasn't been a bad year, but again, I think having a mid-year it doesn't make it memorable. So that's one thing I want to change in 2026 is I want to do things that are memorable. I want to not spend all my time in my apartment, which is basically what I've done for most of 2025. I've barely left my apartment. Every now and again I'll go game hunting or I'll go somewhere with Matt, but I don't want that to be my life. I want to be able to leave more often. I want to be able to go places, and I actually am working on that, which we'll talk about later. So when it comes to the channels, this year's been kind of interesting. Obviously, Thrill Seekers actually got some content, which is shocking for that channel because I currently don't have park tickets at all. I don't work for Disney anymore, so I don't have park tickets there. I don't have any annual passes, so I kind of just, I don't go to parks because going to theme parks is expensive. And especially if you have no discounts or no easy way to go, it makes it very difficult. I did go a couple times this year. Went to Universal for Horror Nights twice. And then I also went like a week ago just for fun, thanks to my buddy Kyle who helped me out with that. So that was cool. I miss the theme parks, to be honest. Like theme parks are a huge part of my identity. I love going to theme parks. I love having that knowledge of the theme parks. I'm passionate about them, so I do miss going on a regular basis. I mean, even though Disney is kind of imploding on itself right now, I still want to go. And that, again, we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to future plans. But that is something that I want to change in the future. So Thrill Seekers, we did get a little bit of content, not a ton, but a little bit. The main channel. I'm sure this is the one that everyone's kind of been curious about, because this year has been very light when it comes to content on the main channel. And the main reason why is because, again, I haven't been motivated to make content on it. A lot of what this channel is food reviews, travel videos, and that's mostly it. For those curious, because I know I kind of sort of left the door open on whether I was going to bring back this week or a similar show to this week, I'm not. I've put that in the ground at this point. I don't want to do another weekly show, mostly because, again, I feel rather than spending all of my time documenting my life, I'd rather just enjoy it. So I will not be doing any sort of week in a life series or anything of that sort again. Not anytime soon, at least. But I'll still document on this channel. I honestly did consider, because of the fact that I haven't been particularly motivated to make content on this channel, I did consider retirement. Because when you think about it, I started making videos back in like 2007, 2008. We're getting close to 20 years of making YouTube videos, and that's a long time. And even, if you look at the history of this channel was founded in 2012, so it's been almost 14 years since I started making videos just on this channel. And everybody gets to that point where you're burnt out, or you're just not interested in making content the way you used to anymore. And I've gotten to that point here because with the food videos, I just don't think there's been enough like interesting stuff. I mean, we've done a few interesting videos, but like, I'm not gonna buy just random snacks and try them just for a short video, because those never get views, but also I don't see the need for it, as opposed to I could just try food to enjoy it. So, I think if something is interesting enough, if it's something that's kind of unique, I'll probably do a video on it, but that will they'll be few and far between. Let's just put it that way. I'm in a new location, and it is much later in the day. I had a pretty successful game hunt trip, I'd say. Went to a couple different pawn shops, went to GameStop. It was a good time. But anyway, I was talking about taste tests. So you'll probably continue to not see a ton of those on the channel. I will still do them from time to time if I find something that is particularly relevant, but unless it's something big, I'm probably not going to do a video. I might start doing more shorts on some of these smaller items, maybe just because, but I mean, you have to take into account, like when I was doing taste tests for everything, there were times where I would just hold on to something for a long period because either I just didn't have time to film or I wasn't up to filming a video for it. So it's kind of annoying when you're like, oh, I want to try this, but I have to do all this setup first. So we'll see. I might do shorts for some of the smaller items, but don't expect as many long form taste tests, kind of similar to this past year. In terms of travel content, the goal is for that to come back. I really did enjoy my work trip to Vegas this year. I didn't film anything during it because it was a work trip, but I want to travel again. I already talked to Shelby, told him, it's been way too long since we've gone on a trip together, so we need to do that. Obviously, things are a little different with me using a chair, but I really want to do it. I want to go somewhere, especially with my closest friends. So hopefully Shelby and I, or maybe me, Matt, and Corey, or a combination of all of us, could go on a trip. That would be pretty awesome. That's the hope, at least one. That would be great. So that's kind of the main channel stuff. I'm still going to be doing videos, just not as many and not as frequently. I'm sorry if that upsets you, but you know, that's just how it is sometimes. You know, if you're not motivated to make videos, you shouldn't force yourself to, especially if it's not your job, because that's one thing that people don't seem to take into account, at least with me as opposed to other YouTubers. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I wouldn't even consider myself a part-time YouTuber. I'm a hobbyist because I work a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week. So when I'm off work, I don't necessarily want to take the time to edit a video or put together a video. So it's kind of annoying, and I want to be able to enjoy my time after work, or enjoy just some free time in general, and not always focus on putting together videos. So that's part of it. Then let's, I guess, talk about the channel that's been the most active in 2025, and that, of course, is BigCTV Plays. That channel's been booming. We've released at least one video a week for the most part. I had a couple weeks where I couldn't release anything because of hand injuries and whatnot, but I tried to release a video almost every week on that channel, at least one, sometimes more. So I've been pretty consistent on that channel. If you enjoy gaming content, collection content, stuff like that, so definitely check out that channel if you enjoy that, want to see more of me. I don't plan on changing much on that channel in terms of this year. We're still doing 2 a week on Bargain Game Hunter videos, just because I think we're up to October. So that's that, but that's okay. You know, I'm sure people are still enjoying the content. I actually released a video this past week. It was a rant about GameStop messing up an order that has done quite well. So I'm glad that channel's actually succeeding and doing pretty well. Hopefully it will continue to grow, and I can continue to kind of carve out my own space in the retro gaming community. So there's that. So that's pretty much what it comes down to in terms of the channels. Now, in terms of my personal life, and again, I don't want to share too much because, you know, when you share a lot about your personal life, you open yourself up to a lot of unnecessary noise. Sometimes it's valid, sometimes it's not. But, you know, I've kind of done that to myself because I was very open on a number of things that I did on my channel. So I figure I'll at least share some updates. Obviously, one of the big things that I am aiming for is to improve my health. That's the top thing, because of the situation I'm in where I can barely walk, I need to use the chair pretty much all the time. It definitely limits what I'm able to do, what I'm not able to do. It also is it makes things difficult for my friends and family, because now they have to, you know, help me get the chair. Sometimes they have to push me around places, and it's not easy for them to do. So one of my goals for this year is I need to start making strides towards not needing the chair anymore. Now, I did just get a new chair because my old chair broke over Thanksgiving. Some piece snapped off. It still functions, but it's a little shaky, so I got a new chair to make up for that. But again, the goal is to not need it anymore, hopefully before the end of the year. And a lot of that's going to start with making some changes. And first thing I got to do is I got to go to the doctor and hopefully get some actual help in terms of what I can do and what I need to do to get on the right track. So that's the first thing. After that, I just want to be more active. I want to be able to, you know, walk around the apartment complex. If I had more money, one thing I would consider getting, just because it is something I could technically do now, is getting like an exercise bike, because I can't stand for long periods of time. But if I had a bike where I can stay seated and move my legs, that is an option. So I might look into that eventually. I have other things that are a bit higher priority than that, but that's something I'm looking into to try to get more exercise and hopefully get on that road to improving things that I won't be in this chair. So yeah, those are just a few things that I'm working on and things I plan on doing for 2026. It's going to be a big year. I've kind of made it my mantra that 2026 is the year I get better. 2026 is the year that things get back on track. 2026 is the year that I become who I want to be. Because I don't feel I'm where I want to be right now, not even close. Corey and I had a deep discussion a few weeks ago, basically stating that, you know, both of us were kind of in a rut. We're tired of the same old. We can't keep doing this. I mean, both of us are almost 40 and we're just living in our apartment together. It would have been awesome back in our 20s, but at this point in our lives, we need to be doing more than what we're doing. So that's kind of the plan. We're going to be making some changes. I think they'll be good. No, I know some people will be like, oh, are you going to document weight loss or whatever? No, I'm not doing that. That's not the kind of person I am. That's not the kind of channel I want to do. So I'm not doing that. Even if that is a goal, I'm not going to document that. So that's just something I'll do in my own time. But yeah, so that's going to kind of do it for this wrap up of 2025 in a nutshell. It wasn't a bad year. It wasn't a great year. It was kind of a mid-year. And hopefully a mid-year will lead to a great year in 2026, because man, I need it. It would be really nice to finally have a year where most things go right. And I think there's a good chance that could actually happen. So, but yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday, and I'll see you in 2026. Thanks.